Happy Friday, family. This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are having a blessed and wonderful day. Today is Friday, TGIF. We made it through the week. Thank Allah. Thank Allah. In the case that you had a hard week or you're having one of those days, always remember this. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope and trust and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I can definitely bear witness to that. Get into the topic for today, or for this video, I should say. So, our constitutional rights are being infringed upon. And I say this because in New York, I believe, yeah, Brooklyn, Dexter Taylor, a black man, 53 years old, a software engineer out of Brooklyn. 2 years ago, he was arrested. Cops broke into his apartment. He was arrested for gunsmithing. That's legally putting together firearms. And it's a hobby. It's a hobby. He purchased these parts legally, and what he was doing was legal under the supreme law of the land, which is the U.S. Constitution, particularly the Second Amendment. Y'all see that? It was under this right here. It's like I'm always lately. I've been holding up these books a lot lately for some reason. I wonder why that is. Hmm. But in any event, Mr. Taylor was sentenced to 10 years in prison for gunsmithing, legally putting together firearms, a hobby guaranteed under the Second Amendment, the supreme law of the land under the Constitution. He's currently on Rikers Island, awaiting his sentence. Well, yeah, to carry out for a sentence to be carried out. He's currently on Rikers Island right now. Uh, During the trial, the judge. Now, get this. This is the part that pissed me off. During the trial, Mr. Taylor brought up the Second Amendment. The judge told Mr. Taylor, get this right here. Do not mention the Second Amendment in this court. The Second Amendment does not exist in this court. A judge actually said that the supreme law of the land does not exist in her court. She told Mr. Taylor that before he was sentenced. 10 years. Mr. Taylor has no criminal record. No criminal record. What he was arrested for doing and sentenced for doing, there were no victims. No victims. No one was hurt. No one was injured. No property was lost or destroyed. Nobody was hurt. But this man is in Rikers Island for exercising his Second Amendment rights. Oh, but here's another one. Just 2 weeks ago, the House, our illustrious Congress, the House Representatives, passed a legislation called the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. Senate leaders in both parties, they're working behind the scenes back on May 2nd to determine whether it will have enough backing to come to vote in the chamber. It's a bipartisan push in Congress. So GOP members in the House, they have stated that they believe that the Jews killed Jesus the Christ, which they did. This is in the Holy Bible. The Jews did kill Jesus the Christ. They offered him up to Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate told them, I can find no fault in this man. But they put pressure on Pilate, who was the governor of I lost my train of thought that quick. Was the governor of that region at the time. He was a Roman official, but he was the governor of the region at that time, Palestine. He was governor of the region. He was a puppet. He didn't have a backbone, spineless, kind of like many of our politicians are today. And the religious leaders who were Jewish who were Jews, excuse me, the religious leaders who were Jews or Jewish, whatever, they put pressure on Pilate to murder Jesus the Christ. And he did. He folded and he did. That is in the Bible itself. Those are not my words. Those are the words that are in the Bible. That he was murdered by his own people. They offered him up to be murdered, to be crucified. So, I'm reading here that GOP members in the House have stated that they firmly believe that the Jews killed Jesus the Christ. Like I said, they did, and have argued that the bill, which includes such claims in its definition of anti Semitism, would actually outlaw parts of the Bible. How can you outlaw parts of God's word? How can you outlaw parts of the Bible? That goes against the First Amendment, freedom of religion. You're infringing upon the rights of Christians. You're infringing upon the rights of those of us who exercise our Second Amendment rights. It's just a level of disrespect for the Constitution. Um, Judges and the like, politicians, elected officials now, politicians don't have a clue about what's in the Constitution. How sad is that? How are you an elected official and don't have a clue about the Constitution? Or if you do, you just conveniently ignore it. How can this be, you may ask? Lobbyists. Lobbyists, lobbyists, lobbyists. Money. Money, 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 money. Everything is driven by the dough, by the bread, by that green. Oh, no, forget the Constitution. I'm gonna break you off. Yeah, well, they can't have guns. Let's take their guns away. Meanwhile, the states still have guns, and by the state, I mean the government. The cops still have. You're not taking guns away from the cops. You're not taking guns away from the FBI, the CIA, federal agents. You're giving guns to IRS agents. You're giving them guns, but you want to take our guns away from law-abiding citizens. You know, they want to point to all these shootings in like cities like Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, wheresoever, Atlanta. They want to point to that. Yes, a lot of that is gang violence. And before we even talk about had a conversation about guns, why don't we go back to the root of the problem? Broken homes, mental illness. Why aren't these people getting help? Why is there such a breakdown in the homes? Boys growing up without fathers, particularly, well, mainly black young men growing up without fathers. without a mother and father. Why don't we start there? Because if a young man has a father in the home, there wouldn't be all these shootings. They wouldn't turn to the streets to solve their issues, to handle their problems. It just wouldn't happen. Yeah, there are certain cases, you know, but for the most part, a dad would get in that ass and be like, look here, boy, we're straightening him out. Let's start there. Mental illness. Why aren't these people getting the help that they need? Yeah, okay, it transitioned into them having guns and whatever. But let's start at the root of the problem. Let's nip it in the bud before it gets to the part where them having a gun and murdering somebody. That's the cause, and them murdering someone is the effect. Cause and effect. What is the cause? Well, guns. Guns is not the cause. Guns have been here for centuries. Guns do not kill people. People kill people. People have killed people before guns. Are killing people that we have guns now. People will always kill people. So why are you pushing legislation or trying to, and when I say y'all, I mean the politicians, the elected officials, why are you, and judges and DAs, they hold a part in this, these sorry ass district attorneys and these judges, they're all in the light, they're all on the take. Why are y'all pretty much pissing on the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, and you call yourselves upholding the law, while at the same time you're breaking the law? Like a good brother of mine said, the judge is the criminal. The judge that sentenced Dexter Taylor to those 10 years, she's the actual criminal. And they're going to appeal it because if it goes to the US Supreme Court, then it's going to be overturned and Dexter Taylor will be coming home. But New York State, they're anti gun. Not just New York City, but New York State. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications. I want to do videos on here. So yeah, New York State, Massachusetts, out here in California, well, primarily all the New England states that I could think of, Massachusetts, Connecticut, um, New York, I mentioned New Jersey, California, all anti-gun. They anti-Second Amendment. And notice the places that are anti-Second Amendment have the highest crime rates. Think about that for a second. San Francisco, crime is gone up. Oakland, LA, crime is just New York, Newark, New Jersey, Boston, Chicago, Atlanta. I don't know. Well, Georgia's not anti-Second Amendment, but it's still democratically run. But all these democratically ran cities have the highest murder rates. Why is that? You ever wonder why is that? But they want to take our rights away. Um, Meanwhile, we're sitting around here concerned about a stupid ass rat beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Oh, Kendrick Lamar. Ooh, he won. Ooh, Drake won. Ooh, he got. Who gives a damn? Do y'all see what they're doing? Like I said a couple of days ago, Roman poet Juvenalis, Roman poet said it best: "Give them bread and circuses, they will not revolt. Give them bread and circuses." Excuse me. Let me quote it correctly. Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt. Never revolt. This dumbass rap beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, bread and circuses. It got it got niggas, got them entranced, got them food. Look over here. You ain't gonna see what I'm doing over here because you're too busy looking over there. Let's use another distraction. Another distraction. Distraction. Now, a few hours ago, it came out of video of P. Diddy brutally assaulting Cassie. That came out on CNN a few hours ago. Another distraction. Never mind what's going on with Dexter Taylor. Never mind what's going on with the this anti-Semitism act. This anti-Semitism awareness act. Never mind that. Never mind none of that. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Diddy, Cassie video. We're gonna take away the right, their First Amendment rights, freedom of religion. They can't say that the Jews killed Jesus. We're gonna make it, a punishable act, a fine, jail time, what so have you. Pass. You want to put weapons together. You want to have guns to protect yourself, to defend yourself and your property from criminals. You are endowed by rights from the Creator. Endowed by rights from the Creator. That's what Thomas Jefferson said in the Declaration of Independence. Look it up. We are endowed by the rights of our Creator. The Creator being Allah, God. There's only one Creator. There's only one God. He endowed us with the right to defend ourselves. They want to take those rights away. Freedom of speech, speaking your mind. I don't agree with this. This is the way I feel about this. Cancel culture. You say something that somebody don't agree with, Harrison Butker, and I'm gonna get on that here later. Probably not today, but probably on Monday, or if not sooner than that. They want to take your right. They want to take your right away. You can't cancel anyone. Only Allah can cancel. He's the ultimate one that can cancel. Man can't cancel. You don't want to support me? That's on you. I'm entitled to a right to my opinion and my freedom of speech, and so are you. You know, we all know that freedom of speech doesn't guarantee you from freedom of consequences. We understand that, but they work both ways. Freedom of the press, freedom of religion, the First Amendment. Like I said, the Second Amendment. You want to own weapons to defend yourself? Oh, we want to take that away. Meanwhile, Negroes are distracted by this dumbass again. This silly stuff. Just dumb shit. Excuse me for cussing on here, but it just frustrates me because we don't see what they're doing. I know that the framers of the Constitution, I'm not sitting up here tap dancing for them. They weren't perfect individuals. Many of them were slave owners. They were. They were slave owners. And at the time of the Constitution, black people were property. They weren't even considered to be humans. They were property. They were like cattle. I get all that. And I'm not tap dancing for the founders, the founding fathers. I'm not doing that. I would never do that on here. What I'm speaking of is we are American citizens. We as black people, we are citizens of this country. This right here applies to us. Applies to us. The Constitution is one of the greatest documents ever written in world history. There are contradictions, like I said. I get that. But as far as the rights of the individuals, the freedoms, you can't beat it. They didn't believe in, they wanted freedom of religion. They didn't have a certain religion. They weren't Catholic. Some of them were. Some of them were Protestant. Some of them were Christian or whatever the case. Or Protestant, yeah, Protestant, Catholic, or agnostic. A lot of them were agnostic, but they believed in a higher power. They were deists. They were deists. They believed that someone created this. Someone created the trees, the rivers, the mountains, animals, us. Man didn't do it. A higher power, a supreme being did it. Again, they wanted to escape. They escaped England because it was all about, you know, England was the religion of England was it was the Church of England. What was the religion? I can't think of it. But they wanted freedom from religious persecution, freedom to worship as you will. If you're Catholic, you're Catholic. If you're Protestant, you're Protestant. Agnostic, agnostic. Whatever the case may be, you have that free will. That's why they came to the shores of North America and established the colonies, which then became the United States of America, the 13 colonies. This is why they established those. They wanted freedom from religious persecution. England was Catholic. Thank you. A lot of them, they didn't want to be Catholic. They wanted freedom to worship how they felt. I may not agree with what the Pope is saying, or I'm not aligning with Catholicism or the church. Well, you're going to worship this way. Well, I don't feel it. Well, if you don't, then I'll throw you in jail. They wanted freedom for that, from that freedom. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I should have known that too. I need to up my game. So my apologies, y'all. My apologies. But our freedoms are being taken away, and we're too busy worrying about the dumbest stuff that's going on. Like I said a few minutes ago, video came out of P. Diddy brutally assaulting Cassie. So that's another distraction. We cannot have our focus primarily on stuff that does not affect us. I'm not saying that don't speak on it. and offer your opinion. But a lot of us, a lot, not all, a lot of us can't walk and chew gum at the same time. We can't. A lot of us can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Some of us have to focus on chewing gum and just stop. Or some of us just focus on walking and not chewing gum at all. We can't do two things at once. Yeah, what Diddy did to Cassie was abhorrently just horrible. It was sickening, disgusting, and he should face justice for that, and more than likely will. But let's get back to the Second Amendment. This them infringing on our First and Second Amendment rights. Fourth Amendment rights. I'm gonna read that one for you. That's the one I'm not don't really know by heart. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. This right there speaks to what happened to Roger Fortson 3 weeks ago. A deputy, well, the deputy never announced he was a deputy until the last time he knocked. Just knocked on the man's door and covered his finger, covered his peephole with his finger. So Roger Fortson couldn't see who was at his door. He just heard a knock, then another knock, then another knock, then Okaloosa Sheriff's Office, Deputy such and such. Roger Fortson opens the door, has his gun barrel down to the ground, and is shot 6 times. He later dies. His Fourth Amendment rights were violated. The deputy went to the wrong residence. He was there because he was told that there had been a disturbance. But the person who told them wasn't sure where it was coming from. This genius, so-called genius deputy, got off on the wrong goddamn floor and went to the wrong apartment. Now Roger Fortson's dead. And people want to sit up here and ignorantly say, well, you shouldn't have answered the door with this gun. The man didn't know it was a deputy. If the deputy felt threatened, like he probably gonna say he is, then he should have told Roger Fortson, "Hey, could you put your weapon up? We got a call on a about a disturbance, but could you put your weapon up for me?" Or could you secure your weapon? Not necessarily put it up, just secure your weapon. Could you please secure your weapon? Holster it or whatever the case. Not so much put it up, but just holster it or secure it. And then proceed it. But just ba 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 6 times, and these so-called patriots. I lived in Florida for 8 years. Florida is a stand your ground state. Stand your ground. So Roger Fortson was doing what the state of Florida allows its citizens to do. and then stand your ground. It was his home, his residence. He felt threatened, obviously, so he had every right to defend himself or to have his weapon. It was his residence. Florida is a stand your ground state. A lot of these so called patriots are ignoring that fact. Like I said a few days ago, had the deputy been a black man and Roger Fortson been white, would this be a discussion? Would there be a discussion? Hell no, there wouldn't. Because they would say, well, he was standing his ground. He violated his constitutional rights. Given if Roger Fortson was white, they would give him grace and get a deputy hell, and rightfully so. So the situation shouldn't change. Roger Fortson should be given grace, even though he's no longer with us, and the deputy should be charged with murder too. Because murder one, you have to prove intent. You got to be some evidence to say, hey, I'm gonna go over here and just kill this man. You got to prove intent. But he should be charged with murder too. And I believe he will. I hope he will. And I hope the family sue the hell out of Okaloosa Sheriff's Office. Sue them for everything they have. Sue them out of business. They violated Roger Fortson's Second and Fourth Amendment rights. But Kendrick Lamar and Drake is more important. The Diddy video with him brutally assaulting Cassie is more important. Distractions. They are pissing on this. All lawmakers, judges, and the like, district attorneys, these tech companies, Facebook, YouTube, you could say X, Instagram, whatever. All of them are pissing on this. They're pissing on this. And this too. Y'all better pay attention to what's going on because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Pay attention to what's going on. Attend these city council meetings. Goes for me too. In your local government, you can start there. This goes for me too, especially me. I have to do better. Research what these local politicians are doing at your town or city level. Research their positions on the Second Amendment, on the Constitution. Attend city council meetings. Take civics classes. That's what I'm doing. Civics 101. Brother Maj Toure. Shout out to him. I take him every Monday. You can start there. Engage. They're doing this because they know that the average American citizen doesn't know civics, doesn't engage in civics. So this is why they're getting away with doing what they're doing. They're evil geniuses. They're evil geniuses. And they're taking advantage of our ignorance. Oh, well, they're not going to research this. We're just going to say this, and this. By the time they realize what we're doing, it'll be too late. They're distracted with Kendrick Lamar, Drake rap beef, and this Diddy Cassie video. We're going to do this. We're going to write this into law. Even though it contradicts the supreme law of the land, which is the United States Constitution. But they're so distracted, they'll never know. And when they realize what's going on, it'll be too late. Y'all need to pay attention. Pay attention. You guys are still falling for, I shouldn't, we are still falling for the banana in the tailpipe trick. We are still falling for the banana in the tailpipe trick. Like my uncle back in Detroit, like he says, stay focused so you won't fall for the hocus pocus. My Uncle Marvis back in Detroit. Shout out to him. Akibalon Village. It's in Detroit on the east side. Stay focused so you won't fall for the hocus pocus. And you can start by taking civics classes. Civics 101. Yeah, the East Coast, West Coast beef. Yeah, we're living in the histories that we're learning from. We're living currently in the history that we have gone through and have learned from in the past if we weren't alive. People love, they think, I don't know, it's ignorance. Ignorance and stupidity. Prideful ignorance and stupidity is the worst thing ever. It's one of the downfalls of humans. It did. Master P was right. He was absolutely right. 100%. But again, take civics classes, research the Constitution, get these books, the Bill of Rights, oh, the United States Constitution, the Constitution of the United States of America. Get these books. They're on Amazon. Get them, read them, research them. You could start there. Attend your city council meetings in your local community. Do something. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe trick. Yeah, we all talk about the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, and now we're going to be talking about Cassie P Diddy video. But let's not make that be the main focus. That's the least important thing right now. We have to look at the big problem at hand. Our rights are being infringed upon. I cannot stress that enough. I need to do better. We all need to do better. And we can. Fact of the matter is, will we? Will we do better? Will we? We have the knowledge. It's on these phones. On these phones. It's not hard to find. The knowledge is not hard to find. It's not like it's buried somewhere under a rock or in some cave. These phones have a lot of knowledge. You can find it there. Research. Computer. You have computers on your phone. A lot of us have laptops, have computers at home. Start there. There is no excuse to be willfully ignorant. We are all ignorant of things. We all are. There are a lot of things I'm ignorant of. There are a lot of things that many of y'all are ignorant of. We don't know everything. This is why God has given us the ability to research, to find it out, to seek knowledge. There is no excuse to be willfully ignorant, not in this day and age. No excuse. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. I think I made my point on this. I hope that I did. Uh, Drop the comments below. Let me know what you think. Please, I would love to hear what you have to say. We don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And in our disagreements, let's use logic and respect, not emotion and disrespect. That's all I ask. Share this video, share it, share it, share it, and let's have a conversation. Make this video go viral, please. Support my podcast and my YouTube channel here. I can't do these without your love and support, so please continue it. Your brother appreciate it immensely. Sisters as well as brothers, be safe out here. Be safe. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. So please be safe. Be safe. Whether you going to work, coming home from work, dropping the kids off at school, picking them up, running errands, whatever the case may be, please be safe out here. Be safe. Beware and be aware. So next time, I love y'all. God bless. Y'all have a beautiful, wonderful day and a beautiful and safe and wonderful weekend. Love y'all and y'all take care. See you soon. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.